Okay, this is number 7 from the handout that we were working on in class on Friday. You expressed an interest in looking at number 7, 8, and 9. So this is number 7. In number 7, we are trying to convert this number, which is given 2.9979 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. We want the unit to be miles per hour. Both of these are lengths, but we want the length to change from meters to miles and the time to be from seconds to hours. And so we're going to have to convert the numerator and the denominator. You can do them separately in different calculations if you like, instead of one big one. And I'm showing it to you right now in 2 separate calculations. Okay, in the first calculation, I'm starting from what's given, 2.9979 times 10 to the 8 meters per second. And in this one, I'm going to work only with the denominator. I'm going to change the denominator from seconds to hours. And I'm going to do that by a series of conversions, okay? I know there are 60 seconds in a minute. I can write this conversion as 60 seconds per minute, or I could write it the reverse way, but I'm going to write it this way because I want to be able to cancel out the seconds, and so that I have minutes left. And so I multiply. And so if I were to stop here and say equals and put my answer, it would be this number times this number, and the unit would be meters per minute. Well, I don't want meters per minute. I want to try to get meters per hour right here. So I'm going to go 60 minutes per hour here, and I put the 60 on top because it's associated with the minutes, the conversion, and this unit will cancel with this. And so I have hours on the end. So if I take this number times this number times this number, I get this big number here, 1.079 times 10 to the 12, and my unit is meter per hour. But I'm only halfway there because I want it in miles per hour. So now I have to mess with the top. So I'm going to go ahead and take this number and give that my new beginning. So I've got the number, meters per hour, and this next block I'm going to put, I know that the km is kilometers or kilometers, and K from the formula sheet that I gave you means 10 to the third. And so I'm just substituting down here 10 to the third m. So kilometers equals 10 to the third meters. I put the meter part on the bottom with the 10 to the third because I want to get rid of the meters here on top. If I were to stop right here, I would have this number divided by 10 to the third would give me kilometers per hour. But I don't want kilometers per hour, I want miles per hour. So now I'm going to look for conversion on my sheet, my formula sheet. It says 1 mile equals this many kilometers. That's a conversion. This is physically the same thing as this. I put my kilometer on the bottom because it's up here and I want to get rid of it. And keep my miles on top. So I take this number, divided by 10 to the third, divided by 1.69, and I get my answer, 6.6075 times 10 to the 8 miles per hour. I have 5 significant figures here, and so I'm just putting it in 5 significant figures here. Okay, this is the second one, number 8. A little bit more complicated because there'll be some symbols here that you may not know, have seen before, but we will get to these symbols. Okay, you've got 0.0821, and the unit for this material, or this number, is liter times atmosphere divided by Kelvin, temperature, and mole. Okay, this unit I want to change such that it is J for joules per Kelvin and mole. So you notice, you analyze it, you look at it, the only thing that you want to change is the numerator. The denominator is going to stay the same. On your formula sheet, I've got a conversion. 101.325 J, or joules, equals 1 liter times atmosphere. I'm going to go ahead and put the little dot here so that you know it's not like a prefix or anything. Those are two different measurable units, volume and pressure. Your atmosphere is a pressure. Okay, so it makes it very easy. So I start with what's given, 0.0821. My unit is liter, and atmosphere on the bottom is Kelvin and mole. My unit, my conversion, I'm going to put, out of this, I'm going to put the liter atmosphere on the bottom and the 101.325 J on top, because I want this to cancel. When that cancels, then I have on top my joules, my J, this is a J, which I have here that I have on top, and my Kelvin per mole is on the bottom. So I've got what I need. So it's 0.0821 times 101.325 equals 8.31 joules per Kelvin mole. Okay, and the last one, number 9, the last one I said I would do on the YouTube, you have 15 millibytes per second. Now, it may have been a little bit difficult to understand this because you have to know that byte is the root, the prefix m, milli, little m. But I hope that you could see it here by showing that this went from millibytes to bytes. So we're trying to convert millibytes, 15 millibytes per second, to bytes per hour. So we're going to have to change both numerator and denominator here. And so what I show first is converting the actual numerator. So I start off with 15 millibytes per second. That goes in the first little block here. Then I need a conversion to bytes. Well, a milli means, according to the formula sheet, 10 to the minus 3. So milli is substituted in up here, and it's done in such a way that the millibytes here will cancel out with the millibytes there. And so if I were to stop here and do the calculation, stop right here, the calculation would give me 15 times 10 to the minus 3rd bytes per second. But I want to put hours on the bottom, so now I have to change the denominator. So we know there's 60 seconds per minute, and I'm putting the seconds up here because the seconds way over here, these are actually seconds, need to cancel out. So this second cancels with this second, and so I would have bytes per minute. I keep going. There are 60 minutes in an hour, so now my minutes cancel out here, dividing out, and so if I stop right there, my unit will be bytes, that's what's left, everything else has been canceled out, per hour. Bytes per hour is what I want, bytes per hour, so all I have to do is take 15 times 10 to the minus 3 times 60 times 60. Everything in the denominator is really 1, so I don't have to divide. And I get 54 bytes per hour.